sigh of relief, Mark. How are you feeling right
Great. Yeah, it was. That's as good as we've played in a long time, and I think we controlled it right from the start. Nick stuffed that first run back in the first end. We got the deuce, and kind of really were able to control the game after that.
Did the confidence from last night carry on?
Oh, absolutely.
Into today?
Yeah, we were ready to go. We had a good sleep. We had a good meeting. Talked about things we did well and what we wanted to continue to do. I thought we did an unbelievable job.
Vous avez été super dominant. Qu'est-ce que tu gardes de ce match-là?
C'était peut-être notre performance la plus meilleure de semaine. J'espère qu'on peut le faire encore ce soir.
Contre la Suisse, c'était un de vos pires matchs, selon toi et Brad. Qu'est-ce que vous allez devoir faire pour vous assurer que ça se reproduise pas?
Il était première place pour la toute semaine. Il joue très bien. On faut faire la même chose qu'on a juste fait contre la Suède.
Mark, we made a big deal about the crowd.
Yeah.
How much is it giving you,
It's so cool.
inspiring you guys?
Yeah, it's so awesome. And, we're trying to give them something to cheer about all week. And, finally we're making some shots, getting them into the game early. And, that gives us confidence too. We build off of that. And, let's hope it's packed again tonight. I say hope. I know it's going to be packed again tonight. So I can't wait.
Nick, what was that emotion like as you walked down to that thunderous ovation at the end there? What a run you've had, 4 straight.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be too disappointed. We've had a few really good years, or a lot of them actually. So played pretty well this week, I felt. In the end, I think the Switzerland game, when we lost that one kind of out of nowhere, kind of turned the tables a little bit. We kind of got behind. We got some really bad rolls and felt like we kind of controlled a lot of the beginnings of the games, but lost it when we didn't keep making shots as the ice slowed down a little bit. We started just not figuring stuff out, ending up locking guards and behind the tee line, stuff like that, and mistakes that we normally don't do. So, rough last third of this event, but I kind of feel like this could have been way differently the way we played the first 8-9 games.
You overcame a serious injury. How did that impact this season? How much of an impact did that have on this season? Yeah,
for sure. I think mostly kind of confidence for the team, not having competed as much and played as a foursome, and not a whole lot of practice for me either. I normally don't do that either, but it's more then I can at least do other things to kind of keep the physical level up and confidence high. Now it's just been a lot of rehab and waiting, and for the whole team it's just been kind of practicing on 3 a whole lot and not traveling, competing as much. So I think definitely we weren't as comfortable as a foursome as we normally are at these events, but still we played really well. The first 7-8 games were all over the other teams, so I kind of felt like we had something going, but just didn't last this time.
The decision to make that shot on the 7th, when conventional wisdom would say you should draw.
Well, no, it's
in the game.
same thing as they did against us at the Olympics. Went for that run double. The game is lost. Even if we score 2, the game is lost. The ice was good enough, very easy to keep a lead that late in the game. If we're down 3 points, it doesn't really matter anymore. So we kind of felt like that's the only thing that can change the momentum enough to win this game.
How much was tonight's result you guys not playing your best, or the Canadians playing their best?
Yeah, I think they played really solidly for sure. We started well. I think we kind of outplayed them the first 3-4 ends. Didn't really get any results that way. And starting without Hammer, they get the 2, a really great shot by him on his last, and then I stuffed the run back, and kind of felt like we kind of controlled, had the better setups in all those ends in the beginning, but still being down 2-1 without Hammer. And yeah, after that we started making more mistakes, and they started playing better. So definitely they deserved the win this time. But I think the start of the game was still fairly good. We made most of the shots there.
Brad, what a win! What a win for you guys. How did you feel out there?
I felt great. I felt really comfortable at the start. Obviously the crowd energy continued today, and getting off to that start of a 2 in the first end, I think freed us up a little bit. It feels like it just gives you a little bit of a cushion when you do that, and I think it forced Niklas to push a little bit too hard. I think that call in 7 was a call we never would have made, and made it a lot easier for us in the last couple ends.
When you're drawing up a game plan, do you ever envision a game like that against a guy who's won the last 4 World Championships?
No, that certainly went a little more lopsided than we anticipated today, but I think just we were making some more shots, and I think they felt a little bit of urgency to push a little harder than probably they needed to, and created some opportunities for us. We got off the hook a little bit in the what end was that? The 6th, I guess, when I made the corner freeze. That was really the only end where I felt we were struggling behind the 8 ball. But every other end, I thought we played really well and really put the pressure on them. And I think that's what forced that call in 7.
And no rest. Switzerland in a couple hours.
No rest. Get some treatment, get some food, and hit the ice again. So that's the plan. It's unfortunate that you have such big games back to back, but that's the schedule, and I'm glad we're playing. Yep.
It's good to say back-to-back over Sweden to get to a semifinal. I guess that's sort of kind of weird how that happened, right?
Yeah, it's it's nice. It's a confidence boost. They're a great team, so beating them back-to-back, I don't think it's the way anybody envisioned it this week for us to be playing in this match, and at this point for a team like Niklas or potentially us to be out. But that just shows the quality of the field, and the fact now we go up against Switzerland. They're a great team. They've been playing great. Yannick himself was all-star third and had an incredible week. So we know we got to find a way to put some pressure and maybe hopefully get some misses out of him and crawl our way out of not having a hammer in the first end and see if we can turn that around in maybe the first 4 or 5 ends.
Brad, you pride yourself on bringing your best in the big moments. You're 90 plus in these big games in the weekend. How do you describe or how do you make sense of how you're continually able to do that? Because it just seems like the team clicks. I don't know how to explain it, but the confidence and the communication and the broom placement and everything just seems so different than at other times earlier in the week.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple levels to it. I think as the week goes on, you get more and more comfortable with the ice. I think that's a big part. I think for our team, with the characters that we have in this mix, like getting the energy and getting that intensity up is a bit of a challenge. Like we, as you know, Mark and Jeff are pretty low key. EJ's got more energy, but we don't have any problem getting ourselves down. Usually it's getting ourselves up for those moments, and obviously as the playoffs approach, it gets easier and easier. Having the crowd behind you like they have been in the last few games gets easier as well. So I find it easier in that way, and I have enough confidence that if I know the broom is in the right spot, I know I'm going to make it. So at this point of the week, if we don't get the broom in the right spot, then I'm doing something wrong.
You mentioned on day one that it was one of your worst performances against Switzerland. Train wreck and a dumpster fire. Is it fair to say with your last 3 performances that it won't happen for sure?
Well, I certainly hope not. I don't expect it. I said in the last interview, I know we're going to be better. I probably spoke too soon, but I'd have a hard time seeing us being worse than that first game. But they're a good team. I think it's going to be a tight game. Even if we go out there and play great, I imagine it's going to come down to last rock. Just hopefully, we can flip it and have the hammer in that situation.